and ruled Cuba for 49 years with a mix of charisma and iron will, creating a one-party state and becoming a central figure in the Cold War. Castro evoked extreme emotions worldwide, including in South Africa. He was idolized as a champion of social justice and also despised as a ruthless dictator. The news of his death was announced by his younger brother, Raul. He relinquished power to him in 2008 after his health had started deteriorating.
Querido pueblo de Cuba, con profundo dolor.
Dear Cuban people, it's with profound sadness that I must share this with our people. To our friends from our America and the world, that today, November 25th, at 10:29 p.m., 3:29 GMT 2016, the commander-in-chief of the Cuban Revolution, Fidel Castro Ruz, died.
Announcing the demise of the revolutionary known as the Great El Comandante, and tributes pouring in thick and fast, President Zuma leading the nation in offering the country's condolences, describing him as an inspiration in the struggle against apartheid. The minister in the presidency at the Chief Luthuli Memorial Lecture also paid tribute.
We dip our flags to this icon of the struggle against oppression and colonialism. History will one day rewrite the story of Cuba and present it as a country of gallant people.
Cuba and South Africa's relations date back many years. All democratic leaders visited the island nation.
One of the successes of this visit is that we have finalized a 210 million rand credit line package to Cuba, aimed at boosting economic ties. One aspect of the package is the extension of credit guarantees to Cuba to the value of 70 million rand.
Fidel was really a great inspiration to all of us. But even more than an inspiration, very much involved in our own struggle here. Some of our best military cadres actually were trained by the Cubans. Very, in that sense, very directly involved in Cuba. And they worked very well with our military cadres in Angola, with MK. And so I'm saying very, very supportive in that sense. So it's a great loss for all of us.
And the governing ANC says it's forever indebted to the contribution of Fidel Castro. Not only did their doctors come to South Africa, many students are studying there.
As South Africans were benefiting from the solidarity and the relationship we have with Cuba, medical doctors in our society, they are not just a feature of South Africa, they are a feature of the continent in many developing countries. And the number of students that are there developed to be doctors, to take up posts in the rural areas that many of us think that it is despising to be deployed at.
The SACP too forged strong bonds with the communist country.
It is a sad loss for all of us in the world. His contribution even to our own liberation struggle in Africa, particularly for South Africans, Angolans, Namibians, he contributed immensely, leading directly special detachments to make sure that we fought against apartheid and we freed our people. He provided us medical services. He had his doctors and volunteers staying with us in the camps, fighting alongside us, sharing the same rations of food with us. So he was just a selfless individual.
The EFF says it's inspired by Castro.
Fidel Castro was an internationalist socialist, a friend of the world, an anti-capitalist and anti-imperialist activities. It is that ideological spear that we should pick up from him. We are inspired by the July 26 movement, and to the people of the world, we can only say a luta continua. At last, Victoria Stampier.
Tributes will continue to pour in as Fidel Castro's influence is felt the world over. Mzwanele Mbeje, SABC News, Johannesburg.